Imagine a place so harsh and unyielding that even the hardest of criminals fear its name. Picture a fortress not of stone or steel, but of unforgiving concrete. A place known around the world for its ruthlessness. A place where only the toughest survive. Located in the heart of Colorado, USA, it's a place that has become synonymous with fear and dread among inmates worldwide. A place where hope is but a fleeting thought. Welcome to ADX Florence, the toughest prison on the planet. The year was 1994, a year that would go down in criminal justice history. As the dawn of the mid-90s approached, a new era in the American penal system was about to unfold. The federal government, grappling with an ever-growing population of dangerous criminals, decided it was time to take drastic action. And so, nestled within the rugged landscape of Colorado, the Administrative Maximum Facility, more commonly known as ADX Florence, was born. The rationale behind this fortress of solitude was straightforward, yet chilling. It was designed to house those deemed too dangerous for the general prison population, those whose crimes had shocked the conscience of a nation. ADX Florence was to be their final destination, a place where they could serve their time in the harshest of conditions, effectively cut off from the outside world. This facility was not just another prison, it was a statement, a declaration of intent. The US government was sending a clear message: if you commit heinous acts, you will find yourself within these concrete walls, far from society's prying eyes. And so, the first batch of inmates began to trickle in. Among them were some of the most notorious criminals of our time. Figures such as Robert Hanssen, the former FBI agent who spied for the Soviet Union and Russia, and Ted Kaczynski, the infamous Unabomber, were among the first to be incarcerated there. They were the embodiment of the type of individuals ADX Florence was built to contain. Their arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter in the annals of criminal justice. No longer would society's most dangerous elements roam freely within the confines of a regular prison. Instead, they would be confined to a place designed to be as punishing as the crimes they had committed. And so, in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains, a beast was born. A beast not of flesh and blood, but of concrete and steel. A beast that would forever change the face of the American prison system. Thus, the fortress designed to hold the worst of the worst was born. As the years rolled by, ADX Florence evolved, growing in infamy and severity. The metamorphosis of ADX Florence is a tale of adaptation and escalation. As the landscape of crime shifted, so too did the fortress. The prison's operation evolved, responding to the increasingly complex and dangerous nature of its occupants. This evolution was not merely about adding more bars or higher walls, but about implementing a system that could contain, control, and manage some of the most high-risk individuals in the world. In the early years, ADX Florence was already a formidable institution. Yet, as the years passed, the prison's administrators saw the need for more security measures, stricter rules, and an increase in the number of high-risk inmates. Security became an art form, a carefully choreographed dance of surveillance and control. New layers of security were added, each more intricate than the last. Sophisticated surveillance systems were installed, capable of monitoring every inch of the facility. Biometric scanners ensured that only authorized personnel could access certain areas. The prison's architecture was also modified, designed to disorient inmates and prevent them from establishing a sense of direction. The rules within the prison also underwent significant changes. Stricter regulations were put in place, dictating everything from mealtimes to recreation hours. The minutiae of the inmates' lives were controlled, stripping away any sense of autonomy. The aim was clear: to create an environment so oppressive that even the thought of rebellion would be snuffed out. Finally, the composition of the inmate population began to shift. The prisons started housing more high-risk inmates, individuals considered too dangerous for other facilities. These were men and women who had committed acts so heinous they were deemed unfit for the general prison population. The arrival of such individuals only served to enhance the prison's reputation as a place of extreme punishment. With each passing year, the prison's reputation as the world's toughest solidified. As we look at the evolution of ADX Florence, It's clear that this reputation is not unearned. It's a product of years of adaptation, escalation, and a relentless pursuit of control. Behind the towering concrete walls and razor wire fences, life is a stark, harsh reality. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the austere world of ADX Florence, America's highest security prison. Here, amid the relentless concrete and steel, the inmates live out their days, secluded from the world outside. Their lives are dominated by a routine as unyielding as the walls that confine them. Each day begins with a solitary sunrise, viewed through a narrow window designed to prevent the discernment of anything beyond. They can't even tell if they're looking out at freedom or just another layer of their concrete cocoon. Meals are served 3 times a day, delivered through a slot in the door to avoid any human contact. The food, like everything else in this place, is bland and monotonous, a far cry from the flavors of freedom. The only breaks in this monotonous routine are the 5 hours of exercise each week, conducted in a small concrete yard, alone. There's no team sports, no camaraderie, just the echo of one's own thoughts against the cold, indifferent walls. Within these walls, inmates are isolated from the outside world. There's no internet, no current newspapers, no contact with the world that continues to spin without them. Letters from loved ones are heavily censored, their contents often arriving as a jigsaw of blacked-out lines. Phone calls are limited to just 15 minutes a month, a fleeting connection to the world outside that serves more as a reminder of what they've lost than a comfort. This isolation extends to human contact as well. Inmates rarely see other human beings, let alone engage in meaningful conversation. The guards who patrol the corridors are trained to maintain a professional detachment, their faces hidden behind mirrored sunglasses that reflect back the inmate's own isolation. But it's the psychological impact of these conditions that leaves the deepest scars. The human mind is not designed for such isolation. Without stimulation, without interaction, it begins to turn on itself. Symptoms of depression and anxiety are common, as are hallucinations and other signs of mental deterioration. In the solitary confinement of ADX Florence, the inmates are not just serving a sentence, they are engaged in a daily struggle for sanity. They are forced to confront their own minds, their own guilt, their own fears, in a way that few of us can truly comprehend. In this place, the physical walls are not the only barriers the inmates face. There are the walls of isolation, of monotony, of despair. There are the walls of their own minds, built from regret and remorse. And there are the walls of society that have deemed them unfit to walk among us. In the silence of their cells, the inmates face a daily struggle against despair and madness. Despite its notorious reputation, ADX Florence stands unbroken, a testament to its design and purpose. This fortress, seemingly unassailable, was not built merely to contain but to utterly isolate. Its design is a marvel of security engineering, a labyrinthine structure with countless layers of control, each more formidable than the last. The outer perimeter is a daunting no man's land, a stark expanse patrolled by armed guards and surveillance cameras. Beyond this lies a 12-foot-high razor wire fence, a barrier that would make even the most daring prisoner think twice. Inside, inmates are confined to individual cells with solid steel doors, far removed from the world outside. Each cell is equipped with a shower, a bed, a toilet, and a desk, all made of unyielding concrete and steel. The prison's surveillance system is an omnipresent eye, watching every movement, every moment. Guards conduct checks every 15 minutes, a relentless routine designed to thwart any escape attempts. And yet, even in this fortress, there have been attempts to escape. But each has been swiftly and decisively quashed, the prison's defenses proving impregnable. From the use of homemade tools to intricate plans, all have failed in the face of ADX Florence's relentless security measures. In the end, it's not just the physical barriers that make this prison escape-proof. It's also the psychological toll, the relentless isolation that grinds down even the toughest of spirits. ADX Florence, an unyielding fortress, remains a chilling reminder of the extent of human punishment. So, how does one summarize a place as formidable as ADX Florence? Well, we embarked on this journey by exploring the birth of this unforgiving concrete fortress, a place that came into existence owing to the need for a prison that could contain the most dangerous criminals. From there, we delved into the evolution of its infamy, tracing the trajectory of its reputation from a simple establishment to a place that strikes fear in the hearts of the toughest convicts. We then ventured into the harsh realities of life inside these concrete walls. The austere living conditions, the stringent rules, the relentless isolation. These are realities that the inmates face daily. And of course, we couldn't overlook the unbreakable fortress that ADX Florence is, fortified with the most advanced security measures to ensure that no one breaches its walls. In the end, ADX Florence serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of grave criminal actions, a place where the most dangerous criminals meet their match in isolation and despair.